What's up, guys? Welcome back to Corvette Weekly. Welcome back to the show where you can come for all of your Corvette needs. Information, rumors, maintenance items, pretty much anything and everything. We got the entire group together this time. One week it was Brandon was sick. The next week David was sick. Luckily, knock on wood, I have not been sick yet, but we're all good now. Everybody's healthy, right? Nobody's sick anymore. So
That's right. We're good.
Charles says the gang's all back. Yeah. We're back, guys.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah. Welcome to another HPO Monday or HP Pit Crew, Horsepower Pit Crew Monday.
Thank you, C. Wolf. I appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was actually making fun of Brandon when he sent me his positive COVID results. I was like, it's 2025. Who gets COVID?
Yeah, right.
Like, what is that
That's
shit?
so 2020.
That's so 2020.
It was just as bad as the first time. That was the worst part about it, but whatever.
Yeah.
Sucked.
You looked rough that first night.
All right, guys. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about some ZR1 information, some price increases coming for the C8 Corvette across the board. This time with some actual factual increases, not just speculation. And something that's pretty interesting, especially for these two guys down below here, that your C8 Corvette actually records. It records your driving habits and can be pulled by, let's say, an arresting officer. So if he suspects you of doing something or saw you doing something, he can literally pull information from the car to prove that you were doing it. And you cannot turn this off. It's basically a black box for a C8 Corvette. And that does exist. It is a real thing. I'm going to show you some.
I read that.
Yeah.
I read that, and I actually talked to some of my friends that are attorneys about that. We can talk about that.
I was going to say it's probably in a gray area if I had to guess, but you better have an attorney or you better not have been doing anything wrong. But we're going to talk about it. All years, Brandon. All years.
Oh,
all
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon.
I'm not so worried about cops. I'm worried like when you put it off the road and you're like, oh man, it was like I was just going like 50.
Yep.
And they pull it and you're like 140.
Yep, they know better. Now, of course, something has to be like seriously going on for them to even want to pull this information. Because it's not like, from what I understand, they can't just go in there and press a button and they got the information. Like it's going to take a second, but it does record information for up to like 15 seconds or something prior to an accident happening and stuff like that. So something does have to happen. And yes, it is, from what I understand, it looks like it can be done even without a PDR. It's not recording footage. It's recording miles per hour, throttle percentage, and like brake percentage. So they can kind of determine how fast you were going and how hard you had to hit the brakes to come to a stop, stuff like that. It's not PDR related.
Is it using the OBD2 port? Because I have a solution for this. If it is,
Brandon, you're too much, man.
Is that
I don't know actually. We're gonna get into all of it in a second, but
okay, sorry, I'll wait. But yeah,
no,
anyways, I got an idea.
I don't actually know if it says how it's pulling the information, but it is stored in a black box basically in the car. Like that's everybody keeps referring to it as a black box because it's housing information about you and the way you're driving in a way that's not easily accessible. So it's not like they're selling the data or anything. It's really only there in a situation where a cop or somebody would need to know who's really at fault in an accident.
And it would take something like it because it would take a warrant or an active investigation to get it. That's what one of my friends was saying. Yeah. So
yeah, and that's one of those things where let's hope it stays that way. Because
and Chopper Larry, I know we're kind of early on this, but Chopper Larry said you're absolutely right, buddies. SRS, like your airbag systems, have always done this.
Exactly.
So it's not something new. They're just getting more data. Yeah. Exactly.
They're getting a lot more data now because they're getting that throttle percentage, miles per hour, braking percentage, because the car already monitors that stuff because of your PDR and because of the mag ride system and stuff like that. It needs that information for other reasons. So it also stores that for this black box thing. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. Let's not get too much into it now. I'm just kind of warming you guys up to what we're talking about tonight because I did want to talk fully about the Bash. We are getting very close to the NCM Bash.
Yes.
I want to make sure everybody is on board with what's happening at the Bash. So myself, David, Brandon, Bill from RSC, Racing Sport Concepts, And all of you guys are all going to be at the booth, at the RSC booth at the
Yes.
NCM Bash. So we want to see you there. Obviously, we have the special shirts set up that have all, of course, the HPO takeover. It has Brandon and David's channel on the back because they're part of it as well. RSC. I want to make sure you guys all have these shirts. So again, for tonight, the entries into the giveaway, which are, of course, is the $1,000 gift certificate. It's going to be technically two separate $500 ones because David has been nice enough to give us his $500 one. So everybody thank David. Very nice gesture from David. But basically,
No worries.
you can win a $1,000 gift certificate off a set of your own E5 wheels, which are, that's the sponsor of the month. If you want to win that, all you got to do is go to the horsepowerobsessed.com website and buy any one of the t-shirts, but specifically right now, if you buy the Bash shirt, you're also going to have it in time for the Bash. Today is the last day to buy this shirt and actually have it arrive in time for the Bash. You have to buy it today to get it for the Bash. I just pasted the link in the chat. Click on that. It's going to take you right to the shirt. Every shirt you buy is going to get you 10 entries to win the $1,000 gift certificate from E5 at the end of this month. So that's a lot of information, I know, but basically buy a shirt from the website. If I see you wearing it on Friday at the Bash, we're going to have a special gift for you.
That's right.
So if you guys aren't sure what I'm talking about,
And hugs.
this is and hugs. David is in charge of the hugs.
David gets the hugs.
This is the website.
Wait. Why am I the hug guy all of a sudden?
You were the one who mentioned it.
I'll
No
probably
one else is
I'm a
talking
hug
about
guy.
it.
All right.
So if you go to the web browser, guys, go to horsepowerobsessed.com under merch. Of course, any one of these shirts is going to get you 10 entries. And the first shirt there is, of course, the NCM Bash Takeover shirt that you're going to want to get tonight if you want to have it by the Bash. So I'd really like to see all of you guys wearing it. Of course, every single person that we see wearing it, like I said, is going to get a special gift and apparently a hug from David. So let's do it. I want to see David
This escalated
consistently,
quickly.
just a hug from David all day that never stops.
Great. This just escalated.
Let's make this weird. Yeah, Stentech and Z06 says only 53 likes.
Yeah, let's give us thumbs up, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we got to hit that thumbs up.
113 watching.
Yeah, I tossed in my half of the giveaway. Let's go. Thumbs up.
Yeah, guys, again, David is donating his $500 gift certificate. So E5 is giving away the $500 one. David's giving another $500, so it's going to be $1,000. So
that's worth thumbs up there, guys. Come on.
it's worth a thumbs up, and it's worth a really, really juicy hug at the Bash.
Thank you, Lego.
Yeah.
We actually got these, Brandon, when we did Ron Fellows. We were there the week right as they were building all the stuff before the F1 race.
That is a cool shirt.
Thank you, sir.
I couldn't read it initially from the distance, but now I see it says the Grand Prix. Okay,
Yep.
nice. Yeah.
All right, so one other thing, guys. I don't know if Joe Lamb is in here, but I got a question already that I wanted to answer. He has not shipped out the shirts yet. The shirts will be shipping tomorrow and Wednesday. That's why I told you need to get your order in tonight, because he is shipping them tomorrow and Wednesday. I know none of you have gotten your shirts yet. That's why he has not shipped them yet. But they will be shipping tomorrow and on Wednesday. So make sure you order it by tonight if you want to have it for the Bash, because otherwise it will not arrive in time, and we'll have to make sure that he brings a bunch of them in his car, and it's just going to get messy that way. So, Kevin, yeah, like I said, the shirts have not shipped yet, but he is shipping them. I believe he ships them. They might be priority. I can't remember, but you'll definitely get it in time. He's doing it tomorrow and Wednesday to make sure that they arrive in time. So, yeah, DBM Racing does love cookies, huh?
Loves cookies.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure if Joe's in here tonight or not, but looks like we got 67 thumbs ups currently, guys. Let's hit that. Actually, it's 75 now. We got 16 minutes to hit 100. I think we can do that. Smash that thumbs up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got it. Almost there.
I love the enthusiasm from you guys. I love it. It's always
Well,
always
nice
so much
'cause
more
we're all
fun.
back together. For
Yeah,
like the
Well,
first time in,
exactly.
like,
but we're all 100% and not
Yeah.
hanging on like IV fluid
Yeah,
going in
right.
the background, just staying like that.
It
how
is.
long has it been since we've all been on here? Like 6 weeks? Has it been that
Been a
long?
month at least.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's been at least a month. Yeah.
It was
It's,
when I was at your place and you gave me the COVID.
yeah. You.
Did you end up getting it, David?
What's that?
Did you end up getting COVID?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
I
shoot,
told you
sorry,
I was
David.
making
I would
fun
have
of
called
you,
you
and
in
then I
some
ended up getting
Paxlovid.
Good friends share
but
everything.
you had it. You had it. Beth had like everybody had it.
Good friends share
I
everything.
knew I was getting it at some point.
KP says horsepower obsessed hoodies down the road. Yes, I'm actually working on that right now to get hoodies from Joe made.
I would be all about an HPO hoodie, man. I love hoodies.
Brandon, what happened, man? You are completely upside down. Yeah, I can't hear you now either. You might want to leave and come back. I don't know what's going on there, but he's like Spider-Man over here.
Yeah, he is. There he goes.
Wait, I can't hear you either. Something must have happened.
Professor Corvette said, "How many gallons of dew are going to be at the HPO booth?"
There's gonna be a lot.
There's
We're gonna
lots,
be
that's right.
we're gonna be slinging dew the way they did back in the day with moonshine.
That's it. Slinging.
Slinging dew. Yeah, E-Rate,
That's
C8 Nate
awesome.
says Brandon is upside down. Yeah, Derek, good friends share everything, including COVID,
That's right.
apparently.
That's right.
Yeah, Becca, hoodies are definitely coming. I'm in the talks right now with Joe Lamb to get some of those made for. Obviously, that'll be a little bit down the road now since we're heading into some nice
There he
weather,
is.
hopefully. But yeah, Kevin, that's a great point. I hear this every year too, because when someone comes by the booth to buy shirts at Carlisle, they're always like, "Why are they all black? Can't wear black. It's like 900 degrees out here." So I will have a couple different colors.
I was just going to tell you, did you see the red Ron Fellows Corvette shirt that I have?
Yeah,
A red
red,
HPO shirt
yeah.
would look good.
And red is the other color,
Really
so it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it would look really good.
Let's see. Shane's in the house. That's great. What's up, Shane? He says, I contacted American Racing Headers and ordered my set of new Z06 headers. Nice. He's in the first batch. Sweet.
Nice. Bill Miller said he installed a solar controller and accidentally put it on drag mode 9.
Wow.
I would like to have seen that,
Yeah.
actually.
He lost the rear end immediately afterwards.
I'm sure he did.
All right, so we got our first shirt order, it looks like. Let me see who that's from. I think it's a shirt order. Let me see. It might just be coincidental timing. Nope, we got a Hysteria Purple shirt from Wayne. Wayne, I'll make sure you get your entries. Every shirt you guys buy, of course, is going to be 10 entries into the giveaway. So be sure if you want to win this $1,000 gift certificate that you get entered in. Every shirt purchase is 10 entries. So you can easily win this thing, and David's going to be very happy to give you his $500 and then another $500 from
That's
E5.
right.
And I mean, that's more than half the cost of your set of wheels right there from E5. So check it out.
Right there.
Charles says that he would buy red shirts. That's awesome. Oh, Brandon's back. Jeez, sorry. You're still upside down, Brandon. What the heck?
This guy.
Let me see if the audio is working first. Because if it's working, I'll just have you flip your phone upside down. Like, what the heck?
Yeah, just flip your. Yeah, red shirts would look amazing. You're right, Charles. Like I thought about that the other day because I've been wearing that red Ron Fellows shirt a lot. I really like it. A red HPO shirt would be on point.
Why is it not working now? I'm trying to get you in here, Brandon. Just bear with me a second.
And then Riptide blue on red. I can see that. A blue on red, like a red, white, and blue HPO shirt too. Yeah,
Oh,
Jim.
red, white, and blue. That's such a good idea. I could literally make the logo red, white, and blue. That is a really
Yeah,
good one.
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, Jim Middleton asked about feedback. Real quick while we're getting Brandon in, Brandon and I were cutting down the dyno graphs, the Cooks compared to the American Racing. This car when you're all at it, it's 5,500 or above, and those graphs are identical. So I'd kind of be interested as well. I do think the wide open throttle performance or dyno performance or when you're racing performance is not going to be any different. It may feel a little peppier on the ARH headers if they're making a little bit more torque down low, but from flat out to flat out, they're going to be just about identical. So
Brandon, say something. Let me see if I can hear you. No, I can't. Try leaving.
Charlie packed him.
Try leaving and coming back in again, because I can't get your feet in here either.
Yeah, Becca. They're all going out. I think Justin just said tomorrow or this week. Tonight's the last night to order shirts, but they're all going out, so we all have them before the bash. So
Yeah, they're shipping tomorrow and Wednesday, and that's actually not what Becca's referring to though. She wants free shirts because she works at Blackout Tanning. All right, 82 thumbs ups currently.
Well, hello.
84 now, guys. We got 10 more minutes. Smash the thumbs up button. We're working on getting Brandon back in here. We were all excited to have all of us back together. Now it's gone. Yeah, Chopper Larry says his little girl's pulling on the wires. Brandon is in stealth mode. Nice. Let's see. Is he back in here?
There he's back. I just saw him pop up.
Oh, actual audio working
There
this
he
time?
is. I can even hear him now.
How about that? All right, let me get him in here then. Hopefully that works. There we go. There we go, Brandon.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
set up.
Nice. All right. So, yeah, guys, like I said, horsepowerobsessed.com. Go there, grab a shirt for yourself, get 10 entries into the giveaway, as well
There's
as
Joe.
tonight is the last night for the shirts for the NCM Bash. You've got to order them tonight so I can get the order over to Joe and we can get them out to you before the bash. Joe is in the house now, Super 8 Creations. So he's the guy who's making the shirts. But ultimately, you got to get that order in tonight. You might as well do it while it's going to also enter you in to win a $1,000 gift certificate as well. So let's see. Yeah, you're a hot topic tonight.
Yep.
Kevin Reynolds said, "Tell me he has toilet paper on his heel." Brandon. That's funny.
I
All
have
right.
no idea what happened. I was
So-
just sitting here, just did it.
One of the things I wanted to talk about tonight was over at the Corvette blogger, there was an article that popped up recently, and I'm not going to say a whole lot here, okay? I just want you guys to read the title.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't want to read, I'll read it for you. It says, 3 Georgia men arrested for street racing on Florida's I-4 at speeds of 120 miles an hour. I'm not pointing any fingers here, but we do know 2 people that live in Georgia and like to drive fast cars. Yeah. I'm not pointing any fingers. But one of them might be wearing a helmet right now. All right, so for real, guys, it was not them, but it is funny because I didn't even tell you this part, David. The article, and I'll pull this back up here because the article shows obviously a cop car pulled over a C8 Corvette. So yeah, still looks like it could be Brandon and David. Then I scroll down some more and see the other cars involved. And one of them is a Dodge Challenger. And
Yeah.
who else do we know that has a Challenger? Maybe sitting right behind them as we speak. Like, it's just so...
Do you know how many texts I got from people that I work with in Orlando?
Oh, yeah. When they saw that?
They wouldn't have caught
Yeah.
the Challenger. The Challenger would have got away. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
If it's between jail and all out, I'm not stopping until that thing
The
runs out of
Stingrays, they hit
85.
5th gear, and then the Georgia State Patrol caught them in 5th gear. But that Challenger, there would have been no hope for them.
No.
They'd have been gone.
Oh, hey, real quick, did you see GSP's 911 GT3?
No, but I think Florida has a C8 Stingray, but the GT3 is even better.
No,
Where'd they get that
Georgia,
from?
it was on like the local news in Atlanta last night. That
Oh,
Georgia,
God.
they have GT3s now.
Great.
Oh, my God. Well, there was the
Can you
one...
imagine a pit
Screwed,
maneuver in
man.
a GT3?
One
They're
of them
gonna
just...
put it somewhere near your place on that stretch of road.
Well, how would you do a pit maneuver with the engine in the back like that? You would just
They would.
smash
They
the
just
front
run
end of
you
your car
down.
up.
They just run you down to get your plates and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
There was one...
Although GSP won't care. They put a freaking McLaren P1. They don't care.
Jesus.
Well, I would just go to jail just so I could ride in the GT3. So that actually
Well, Bill
might be.
Miller
a good
said he'd
thing.
send us money in our commissary if it was us. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was one thing I just saw pop up recently. It was over at the Corvette blogger. I'm looking for it now, but I'm not seeing it now. Where down in Florida, one of the confiscated C8 Corvettes is now their cop car, which I thought was kind of
Yeah.
funny. But I think it's
Yeah.
even more funny is that as we're talking about these people that were speeding at 120 miles an hour and blah, 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 I'm getting all these comments in the comment section saying, oh, those are rookie numbers. Only 120 miles an hour? Like, you guys are funny.
Yeah, that's 5th gear. Yeah, on the Stingray. That's only 4th on the Z06.
All right, guys, we got 92 thumbs ups. We need 8 more in the next 5 minutes, guys. Smash the thumbs up for us. Let us know you're liking the content. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight, as well as a really cool giveaway from E5 Wheels and David, which is going to give us basically $1,000 towards a set of E5 wheels. So every shirt you buy is going to give you 10 entries into this particular giveaway. So over at horsepowerobsessed.com, you can go to the shirt, buy a shirt, you'll get entered in 10 times. For example, this person looks like Robert just placed an order for 2, so he's going to actually get entered in twice. He's going to get 20 entries instead of the typical 10. So the more you buy, the better your odds are of winning. Plus, you'll have a cool shirt for the bash. So, yeah.
And Squirrel Cage said if he comes and doesn't get a shirt, does he still get a hug? Yes, Squirrel Cage. For you, sir, you'll get a hug.
That's a great question. That's a great question.
Yeah.
And yeah, David, he really just wants to give people hugs. He's don't let him fool you here.
Evidently, it's morphed into that. So
Oh God, it's funny. All right, so I got Omid got a shirt. Thank you, Omid. Wayne, I think I got you in there.
Ooh, almost 196 thumbs up, guys. Come on, let's go.
We're there.
Heck yeah.
We
All
got
right,
the
so
whole gang back together. We're giving away wheels. Come on.
Yep, 96, 97 now. We need 3 more in 3 minutes. That's 1 a minute. Not even bad. Not even bad. You can do it. You can definitely do that. All right, someone's telling me to check my email. Let's take a look. Oh, that's the one. Yep. All right, so Charles sent me the image I was looking for, which is the C8 Corvette that is now part of the Florida Highway Patrol. There you go. It is literally a C8 Corvette branded with a bunch of Florida stuff. I don't know.
It looks
I'll
pretty cool.
I'll have to find the news article from the TV or news and send you the GT3. And it actually looks badass in GSP colors. I'm not going to lie. That dark blue
And
and
it's
silver.
a Z51 car too. They even went all out. Like they didn't get a base coupe.
No, I mean the thing is this is something that they confiscated.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. That's right.
That's
So-
that's how GSP got this one too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's funny that they basically confiscate this car and turn it into a police car, because otherwise, what do you do with it? They would probably put it on some sort of
They auction it.
auction, yeah. But why not? Why not roll around with a C8 Corvette with a
Oh man, dude!
couplets
If I
in
was the commander on the GSP and we confiscated a GT3, it's so
Yeah,
becoming a car,
yeah.
and I'm the first one that
it?
gonna go.
It's becoming my car. Yeah.
If they take my Z06, I'm taking it back. Whoever they took that from, they need to go try to get that car back. That's all
Brandon,
I'm
you
saying.
are such a
That's
freaking
not right.
rebel, dude. It's not right.
See,
He's
you're
like,
just gonna get caught
I don't
right
care.
there.
It's not right.
That's my car. You can't take it.
You would
Oh,
just
they
get
charge me
caught and they
bumpers.
would impound your shit for
Yeah,
racing. But
I was gonna
the
say,
ones where they
Lewis-
seize them is the drugs.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
say,
what
Lewis
they
said
seize
it
the
was a
assets.
drug
Oh.
dealer's car. Like they give
Yeah,
up all
exactly.
rights at that point. So
Yep.
Why would you do? Well, I guess you know what? If you think about it, on the Stingray with that middle tunnel, you could hide a lot of drugs in that middle tunnel that's what you were looking to do.
Okay.
A lot.
Just so the
This is
DEA
getting way
knows,
off-
Brandon's
way off the
completely
rails.
Kidding.
Yeah, he's
serious.
never done that before. I promise.
Never done that before.
Yeah,
Brandon, you're
forget I
too
said
much,
that.
dude. I love whenever we're sitting here talking about something, and then he chimes in with super serious, and it's really either illegal or very against the law, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you could definitely do that." That's true. In a C8 cop car, where do they put the criminals? In the trunk?
It's just for pulling people over, and then if they'll call
Yeah, that's
a
true.
wagon to come get you.
Again, David, he's only assuming this. He doesn't know this for fact
Yeah, no,
because
no,
he's
yeah,
never
yeah.
been pulled over before.
Never. Actually, Brandon's the one that gets pulled over.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay.
I get pulled over watching the live stream.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I told Brandon that maybe he's gonna live stream his thing happening next Monday night.
Nice.
Hey, David, did you see where Darren is talking about the old 50 coupes that they used to have? GSP.
Oh yeah, dude.
Remember
And those are collectors now too, by the way, guys.
They were
the
the
old-
lightest. I think they were the lightest coupes you could get.
They were
at
the
the
lightest
time.
car you could get, and they had the most horsepower you could get. And they were
Mhm.
special order, and they all had special VINs and stuff from Ford. Yeah, they were badass, dude.
Were they only autos? I can't remember. Did the GSP get? Man, they had to have been autos, I would imagine, right?
Well, they
The
had
GSP?
both actually. They had both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles said that Vigilante Brandon. I'll tell you this much, guys. I put the picture of Brandon as the emoji on the channel here, and the picture for the emoji or the emoji of the Batman symbol. I didn't do that by accident. Kevin Reynolds, I got your entry. You're going to get 20 entries, so you are good for that. Thank you for entering and supporting the channel. So other than the possibility of the two guys that were racing in Georgia being the two guys below me here, the other news that we have to talk about is some C8 Z06s or ZR1s, I'm sorry, being spotted in the wild, we'll say. So this one right here was actually photographed by a member of the Mid-Engine Corvette forum. He has his E-Ray, it looks like, sitting over there. Yeah, it's an E-Ray in the same color as the ZR1. So that is a Sebring orange setup, and we know David likes his Sebring orange, but right beside each other. I mean, it's kind of interesting to me the way that these cars look. That there is a pretty significant difference in the look here. One thing a lot of people weren't happy about right off the bat with the ZR1 was that it didn't look different enough, but it looks pretty different sitting there to me.
I was gonna say, yeah, sitting next to each other on that picture, because I saw that, it's actually a lot. Look at the boomerangs, the difference on the boomerangs.
Yep.
And then obviously the ground effects package, but that hood makes such a big difference. I didn't think so at first, but that hood makes a massive difference. And then, again, I don't know that they're saying they're any wider, but those boomerangs and those intakes certainly look bigger to me.
They're not wider, but they're definitely bigger.
They're bigger, yeah.
Do you guys truly believe that ZR1 is beating that E-Ray to 60 on that surface right there, or on the street? Do you think that's actually going to happen?
No.
On a perfectly prepped track.
Because I've been in Nate's, and there's no way.
No. It's not possible regardless, just because you got four wheels pulling and pushing versus two pushing. Unless it's a perfectly prepped track, you're never going to do that. And that's kind of where my argument with the ZR1's been from the very beginning. Is it's like, how are we going to take a car like the Z06 that already has traction issues, throw 400 more horsepower at it, and then be like, yeah, good, no traction issues here.
Even
you're only
with
amplifying.
The best torque management,
I can foot brake my car, and I can barely get out just a few feet before it starts to spin, and that's just on Z06 powers. I can't imagine how it's impossible. And that's on
drag. Do you remember the one video, Brandon, we did where I was chase carring you guys, and Nate actually lost traction? You remember that?
Yeah.
It's even possible for the E-Ray to overcome the traction in the back. So even you have to have a tire, but even with the best torque management, I don't see it getting out quicker than these E-Rays. Once it's in gear second and gone, then that's one thing. But those E-Rays move out, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. Sebring orange is my favorite, bro.
So while we're looking at these pictures of these there's this one, and then there was also another one taken from the back. Again, the backside, pretty obvious that you're looking at a different car here. You got that big wing. You can still pretty clearly see the big boomerang / intake on the side, but then also the new top side intake as well, and that split window. Plus, if you want further validation, if you want further validation, the wheels are different. But
I'm hoping there's going to be a conversion.
See, there's not a conversion, but there's some out there right now that are just stick-ons. They cover the window.
No,
they're awful looking. I would not.
But but if you could buy one a hatch top and put it on,
You would be able to. You'd be able to source these parts from GM because now the glass is literally two pieces of glass, and you can mess around with that stuff.
Chopper Larry, you never cease to please. He says the only place an E-Ray doesn't launch fast out of is the dealership.
Ouch.
I'm saying until Zora comes along, though, the E-Ray's the 060 king until Zora comes along.
Well, see, here's the thing is if you're buying a track car, which obviously at this point for a while now, the Corvette has been a track car. And then you take the car and you say, hey, this one's got the best 0 to 60. I don't know that we really care that much about a couple, tenths of a second in a 0 to 60 car if it's not going to also perform on the track. So that's been my... What the heck's going on with Brandon now? Oh, he's upside down again. You're upside down again, Brandon. You're gonna have to leave and come back. I don't know what's going on with him, but
I know, man. That's crazy.
So anyway, yeah, the E-Ray is just not going to do the same things as the Z06 for multiple reasons. But like, I guess we probably shouldn't get into that again because then everybody's going to be all over me about how I hate an E-Ray, and I do not hate E-Rays. In fact, I am actually on an internal battle right now as to whether or not I buy a ZR1 or I keep my Z06 and buy an E-Ray to go with it.
I was going to say that's so hard because like you see Corey's and you see Stevens and you see these like built E-Rays, and bro, like for any usable power, any place you're going to actually be driving your car, that's tops, man. That's going to be insane. Yep. And did you ride in Stevens' car when it was like all done and settled out?
Yeah.
It's next level.
It's a beast. Yeah.
It is.
Yep. There's Nate calling it out. E-Ray hater with me with a thinking face of me. How dare you? I do. I'm telling you, I'm going to blow all of your minds whenever I end up buying a friggin' E-Ray. You guys are you're not going to be able to say that I'm an E-Ray hater anymore.
Oh, and that's
Professor
that's
Corvette.
The best thing, bro.
Professor Corvette says Brandon has too many anti-gravity batteries in the room. Oh, that's good stuff.
Oh, I love everybody that comes to this live. We've got such good folks.
Okay, so anyway, let's talk a little bit more information here. Looks like we got 160 people watching, 108 thumbs up. So let's keep smashing the thumbs up. Keep grabbing the t-shirts, guys. Like I said, this is the last day to get them by the bash. So make sure you buy them tonight. Get entered in on the E5 wheels giveaway and get your shirt in time for the bash. If I see you wearing it on Friday, we're going to have something special for you. So we just showed some pictures of the ZR1 in the wild. I keep wanting to say public, but it sounds way better to say wild. So other than that, we also have over at the Mid-Engine Corvette forum a poll, because this is how crazy the launch of the ZR1 has been. We have a poll going as to when most people think they're going to be able to expect their ZR1s. So yeah, pretty crazy. So I'm curious. We have May 26th all the way down to August 11th. I personally am going to be mid-June to early July, I think, is when we're going to start to see people's cars pumping out. But let's just see what the poll results say here. So the majority of people are thinking it's going to be August 11th or later. I think we're going to see them a little bit earlier than that, but obviously these people have no faith in GM to get these out to us.
Well, maybe the first ones, but I don't see any significant number coming out before that. The few people I know that have allocations and orders in, they're just sitting at 3,000. They don't.
Yep. The ones that are sitting at 3,000 now are supposedly have a target production week of early May. And if they're built in May, they give them roughly a month for quality control, and they would start shipping, I would say, first, second week of June. You'll see them in people's hands by the end of June, early July. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So another thing is, if you guys haven't seen this, Shmee, who is a relatively large YouTuber, decided to put his name in the mix with a C8 ZR1. Now, the reason why this is kind of impressive to some degree is because Shmee has access to some really, really ridiculous supercars. I mean, he personally owns a Ford GT. I don't know all this stuff. I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but I know he has access to ridiculous cars like Bugattis, Paganis, McLarens, Lambos, Ferraris. And the fact that he's thrown his hat in the ring with the ZR1, I hope is kind of shows, you know, that this car is going to be pretty crazy. But let's just hope it's not some sort of publicity thing and that he's going to sell it after a week. But I don't think that he's not typically that kind of guy. So Derek says, have they finally lifted all constraints on the ZR1? The funny thing is at this point, we don't even know what the constraints are because there hasn't been any allocations in 2 months. So I can't say yes, I can't say no, because at this point there is no allocations to even have constraints on. So yeah. Those are the blue edge blue wheels from Chevy on that C8 Z06 or ZR1 we just saw.
Hey, did your subscriber get his wheels back yet? With the it's supposed to be that color. I'm curious what they look like, or if you got pictures of them.
He did. Actually, I think he was in here. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. That's Jay Brazelton is in here.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, he did. Let's see if I can show this. Oh, I can. Okay. So yeah, here they are. He sent me this picture earlier. They're from the.
Oh, nice.
They're from Wheelcraft. So Wheelcraft, Ed over at Wheelcraft actually did these for him. They look pretty good. He told me under direct sunlight they're a little more teal than he would like, but they look pretty close to the edge blue wheels from Chevy on the ZR1. So I think that I personally think that looks pretty good.
Oh, I love it.
I love it actually, and actually the blue accents on a black car with the color wheels is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, they turn out pretty
That would
I
actually
think it
look
looks
really
really
good
good
on the Sebring car too. Actually, the purple or the orange and that blue.
Yeah.
I think it looked good on my car, honestly. That looked good on your car too, David. I think. That color
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about your car. Oh yeah, yeah, that would look really good.
Yep. So two last things actually. C8 shipping price is up $200 to $18.95 now. So
what?
Yeah.
Yep.
So this is just the beginning of what we're probably going to see depending on how these tariffs end up, because the majority of the C8 Corvette, I think it was 43% of it, the parts come from Mexico. So we have some parts being obviously imported, and if this tariff thing keeps going the way it's going, the price of the C8 is going to go way up. So just the shipping portion is already up, and that's just one specific part of this thing. We've already talked about how a lot of people are speculating that the tariffs by itself are going to push the price of the C8 possibly just by itself, possibly $10,000. That's before GM raises the prices for their own benefit. So if that's the case, you could be looking at 10 to 15 grand higher for a 2026, which would be crazy.
But why does shipping a car have anything to do with the tariffs? I don't understand why, other than shipping of the parts themselves and getting a tariff. Why is shipping the car is that cost under there? That's what I don't understand.
There's
It's just
that
grabbing money.
That I was gonna say that part has nothing to do with the tariffs. That's just them increasing their prices.
But what also kills me, because like when you look at the parts and stuff, you're saying like the parts coming across is one thing, but where does GM and Ford and where do they make the vast majority of their money? It ain't Corvettes, it's trucks, and they make all the trucks
and SUVs, yep,
and SUVs.
Yeah.
Here in the United States, and those truck plants crank. I saw a stat one time. I can't remember what it was. I was talking to Brandon about it one time. How many like millions of dollars a minute they crank out, like billions a year. It's just insane.
And you would
the money
think
they crank out of these freaking plants.
You would think that would be enough for them to kind of leave the Corvette alone, but apparently it's not.
At least that, right?
Yeah.
At least the halo, right? Like
Yep.
leave it alone and just eat it on the other stuff. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. All right, guys. So we got 160 watching, 112 thumbs ups. Let's keep rolling with the thumbs ups. In case you don't know what they look like, this is it here. Looks like Brandon's having a little bit of a problem again. I don't know what's going on tonight with Brandon's connection, but he's having an issue. Yeah, so 111 thumbs ups currently. Let's keep going, guys. Keep smashing the thumbs up. Keep grabbing the shirts. Of course, I'm going to get you entered for the giveaway, but I also want to make sure you have your shirt for the bash. The HPO Takeover 2025, we've sold a lot of them. So I have a really good feeling Friday is going to look like a sea of HPO Takeover shirts, and that's fantastic.
Oh,
so,
dude, that's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Because it's like, there's no doubt.
I got to start working on my hugs.
Yeah.
Got to start working on my technique.
There's also no doubt, if I see you wearing that shirt, there's no doubt that I know you and you know me, which I think by itself is awesome. But even if you didn't want the HPO Takeover shirt, you could still grab the Mountain Dew Horsepower Obsessed shirt, the Metallica font shirt. Any one of them will get you 10 entries into the giveaway for the E5 wheels. And if you buy 2 shirts, it's going to be 20 entries, and 3 shirts, 30 entries.
And the Mountain Dew, I like the Takeover one. Like you did, you guys did a killer job on that one with like the museum in the background.
That's all Joe Lamb.
The Mountain Dew one is, but the Mountain Dew one, Joe Lamb's a genius.
Yeah,
but the Mountain Dew one is awesome.
Yeah,
so,
it's because
it's like have Joe help me out with some merch for Carlisle this year, because he brought stuff last year, and I don't, but at Carlisle, I'll have some for this year. But yeah, he does such good work, man.
Yeah, he does. And again, guys,
Friday,
for those of
Professor
you,
Corvette, Friday.
any of you just joining and you're wondering about the shirts, Joe Lamb is actually shipping them tomorrow and Wednesday. So you'll get them in time for the bash. But with that said, if you need a shirt for the bash and you haven't ordered it yet, tonight is your last night to do so to get them in time. So make sure you place your order tonight if you want the bash takeover shirt. And yes, Friday is HPO takeover day. So make sure Friday at the bash you are wearing that shirt. Of course, for the most part, if I see you wearing it any day, it's going to be a good thing. But Friday is the day I want to try to schedule everybody to wear the same one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And you know, Joe, not only does Joe do great work, but he's just such a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He's good dude, man.
And a diehard Corvette guy. Like that, you can't ask for a better situation than that.
Right.
All right, I think we got Brandon back in here.
Hopefully it's the last time.
Yeah.
I changed Wi-Fi network. Maybe that'll fix it.
All right, perfect. So one of the last things we're going to talk about, guys, is the what is your C8 recording thing that basically this whole video was about. Again, it is recording information that could be used against you to some degree. I don't know the specifics as to whether or not you would need to have a court order and blah, 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 but odds are good you would. But if they yeah. Anyway,
well, the way it was explained to me was that it's like if you're recording doing some stupid stuff on your cell phone,
yeah,
like they can't just open your cell phone. They have to have a warrant for it or probable cause to seize your phone and then get a warrant to open your phone. So it'd be the same thing. Like you have to get caught doing some stupid stuff.
It makes sense.
Or accidentally kill somebody. Yeah.
But
exactly.
This, from what I can tell here, and even at the top it says liability police reports and like pre-crash data. And it happens 5 seconds prior to the crash and continues to record these events until half a second after the crash. And you can see here, it's recording accelerator, pedal percentage, brake switch circuit state. So basically, if the brakes are on, what kind of percentage they're at, engine RPM, engine throttle percentage, speed indicated. So this is enough information for most people to be able to determine, like, we'll say you rear-ended somebody. They're going to be able to pull this information and tell if you were going too fast and you braked too hard and you rear-ended them. They're going to be able to clearly see this was your fault. So this kind of stuff, this is kind of how it goes with newer cars. Like the information that's recorded on these newer cars can easily incriminate or can actually do the other way too. It can actually help your case. If you legitimately were not at fault, these things could help you there too. So keep that in mind. It's good or bad depending on how you're driving. But it is interesting because
no, Mr. T got it right, man. Insurance companies are going to have a field day with this one. They can afford enough lawyers to go after this stuff.
And that's really where you're going to see the majority of this popping up is insurance companies. Not even so much individual police officers. The insurance companies are going to be the ones that want to know. And it's interesting because I don't see any mention in this article about you having to have the PDR for this to be recorded. So this information is recorded outside of the PDR, it looks like, which makes sense because, again, the car with mag ride, the EDIF setup, all of this stuff requires this information to be on board anyway. So this stuff is being recorded even if you don't have a PDR because your car still needs it. So be mindful of this.
Yeah, it's been there. It's been in there for lots of cars.
Yeah.
It's never been to a point where it's. I guess you hit that slippery slope where you start to infringe on people's rights and they don't want to get into that mess. But I mean, it's been there. The airbag data has been there forever. So
yeah, it has. But the airbag data was not quite as.
Oh no! Like this is
way more information.
This is enough to put you in jail,
right? Yeah. We're not able to hear you again, Brandon.
Professor Corvette says something records your thoughts so it knows your intentions. Actually, I hope it does because that way when Brandon does get pulled over and they pull the thoughts, all they hear is because that's what's going on in his head. That's it.
Oh Lord! All right, so one more thing before I bring on a guest. We'll call him the guest of honor, but one more thing before we do that is some pictures. I wouldn't call this the first look because we've seen these before, but some pictures of the new engine closeout graphics for the C8 Corvette coupes. You guys, we saw these initially shown a couple months ago for the new option for 2025, 2026 cars. And these are really just like stickers that kind of stick on in the back around the engine bay area. I personally like the carbon fiber panels you can put back there better. Of course, that's not from GM, but I'm not sure if I love these. But if you were wanting to go this route, you could. And just so you know, this is kind of what they would look like. Not sure how I feel about those. Don't think I would do that, but I don't know. Anybody dig these? I'm curious. What are your thoughts on those? That's what I'm at. I think the carbon fiber trim that.
I mean, if you've got carbon fiber, I mean, like to me on a car, the Stingray, it doesn't matter. Like on the Corvette, I think the carbon fiber is the classiest look. But I mean, like everybody's got their own opinion, man. Dude, like do what makes you happy. I'm not driving your car. Do whatever makes you happy. If you like it, I love it.
Yeah, and I'm with Lewis on this one. I'm not really a fan of just like slapping a sticker on there. Brandon, again, if you can hear us, we can't hear you. I have no volume from you for some reason. But yeah, not a fan of the stickers. Jay Brazelton says no. Kevin Reynolds.
I think
no.
I'm open to a lot of different mods, Justin. Like all kinds of mods, as long as it doesn't look cheap.
Yeah.
Like I don't even care if it is a cheap mod, as long as it doesn't look cheap. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Sometimes the ones that are actually the most satisfying is some little cheap mod that you throw in. You're like, oh wow.
But it looks good, right? Yep.
It looks good, or that really works. But like when you put something on, you're like, that looks cheap.
That's kind of John Perkins says if you're gonna stick stuff in the engine bay, it better be carbon fiber. And I'm kind of I don't even think it has to be carbon fiber. I just think it has to look right in there. Like I don't love the look of these things. I think I definitely applaud GM for trying here because that area back there is just so big and bland that putting something there has to happen. And
100%.
they're putting something there, which is good, but I think they're going with the wrong something. So just so you guys know, that is an option there. Again, if you could, please smash the thumbs up button. Looks like we have about 200 people watching, 118 thumbs ups. Smash the thumbs up. Grab a shirt if you want to have it for the bash. It's got to be ordered by tonight to get it for the bash. So, yeah. Grab a shirt. Get entered to win the E5 Wheels $1,000 gift certificate.
It's not working.
It is working.
There you
now.
go.
There we go. Good job.
Okay, thank goodness. Okay, fine.
All right, Brandon. So what did you think about those graphics in the engine bay?
It looked awful.
Okay.
Looked like
He's like, nope, not for me.
No.
I would have weighed them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, these are 1 ounce. I'm not doing that.
1 ounce?
They look like they were added on
after
the fact or something.
I totally agree. So again, Brandon, I know you're not a guy a fan of adding weight to cars, but if you had to choose between that and like those carbon fiber panels I have in the back of my car, which way would you go?
Panels.
Yeah.
I think the panels look more at home. And honestly, that tub in the back, if GM had actually made that out of carbon fiber, number one, it would have looked better, but number two, the car would have been way lighter weight. I think that's the route they should have really gone, is just make the thing carbon fiber.
Yeah, and that would have been something they could have done, like looking at Zora kind of stuff, like make some of these things out of carbon fiber to offset some of the battery weight. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see, but.
Well, the front, they should have made that out of carbon fiber too. Like, look at Squirrel Cage's Garage's video on that.
Yep.
Yeah, they really
where he takes it out. It looks heavy.
Yep. All right.
Aren't you taking yours out?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't yet, Brian. That's a decent amount of weight right there gone.
I think it's 20 pounds.
Huh. All right, so guys, real quick, I want to bring in the guest of honor again. Something me and Joe have been working on with the sales of Corvettes. We mentioned it last week. I think you weren't here for it, David, so I don't know if you know about this, but basically we're working together to help connect people to buy/sell Corvettes. We have our first sale down already, and we're working on another one currently, and I'm bringing Joe in to kind of talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to put him on here for a hot second, and we'll see exactly, what he has to say. But let me get him added in here. No, that isn't him. That would be David. Let's try that.
Hi.
Again. There he is. All right, Joe, what do you have for us?
Hey, Justin, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Hello there, and hi, Brandon and David and all.
Hello.
As Justin just mentioned, we soft launched the service about a week or so ago, and we did in fact have our first sale. We brought together a buyer and seller from the community, which is the goal. It was a 2024 red Z51, and we now have our first happy seller and buyer. We have just in from Bill, who's a big fan and member of the channel, a beautiful 2023 Corvette Z06 Coupe, 1LZ, silver flare metallic, which as most of you know is no longer available. Jet black interior. In fact, no silver is available for 2025 model. I think we're all sort of waiting to see what happens with the 26. So the car is definitely a looker for sure. This Z06 has over 14,000 in options, including visible carbon fiber ground effects, which price out at just about $4,000. Carbon fiber roof with body color surround in that beautiful silver. Competition seats, engine appearance package, the upgraded red intake, black Spiders wheels, which I love, carbon flash mirrors, and obviously you get the carbon flash spoiler when you go that route. And I think probably the best part about this car is it's available at ready, $103,000 firm. Imagine owning a Z06 for $103,003. I think Justin and I were talking earlier in the week, and just 18 months ago, this car would probably fetch easily between 20 and 30 over sticker. So if any of you or know anyone that is interested, just email us at HPO Vette, VETTE exchange, which is XCHANGE at gmail.com, or you can find us at horsepowerobsessed.com and just hit the tab, and you'll also be able to navigate to us. We've got pictures and more details if you email us. And lastly, if you know anyone who is selling their Corvette, give us a shout. We would love to simplify the process and get more likely than a dealer may be offering you. So thank you, Justin.
Yep. Thank you, Joe.
That's a good service.
It is. And as of right now, it almost blew my mind the night we talked about it. It was literally the next day we had a sale. And Joe, of course,
that car's going to move at 103.
Yeah, at 103.
Fast.
I mean, think about how much you paid for your CO6s, and now this one at 103. Like, dang, these prices on these cars are really doable at this point. So again, silver flare metallic, one of the best silvers out there in my opinion too. And you can't get it anymore. You could possibly get this one for 103. So obviously we're connecting the buyer and the seller, hoping to get this thing moving. At this rate, we could potentially have at least one car a week, maybe more, going through this thing. As of right now, I pasted a link for the actual spot on the website where you can go to find more information, frequently asked questions, and the direct email that will allow you to reach out to buy the car or to reach out to sell yours. We can do all kinds of things for you, so be sure to check that out. Joe and I are in this together, which is kind of a joint adventure with us. So yeah, check out that link, shoot over an email if you're interested, and get the car you've always dreamed of. So
I bet that's not going to last a week.
I don't think so.
No way, not at 103. That car's gone.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Joe, I'm going to let you go.
Alrighty. Thanks, guys.
Enjoy
Thanks,
Florida.
everybody.
We'll see you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, guys. So back on to some information here. Hopefully you guys can check that out. Like I said, it's over at the website, horsepowerobsessed.com. And up at the top, it's just called HPO Vette Exchange. So we're doing only Corvettes at this point. We're not doing any other cars because the majority of my audience is Corvette people. I want to hook them up together. I've noticed really quickly that if you're doing something that's not Corvette related, it doesn't do anything. So we're going to keep it to Corvettes. Let's see. Does Joe take Canadian market vets? I assume no. KP, if you want, go to the website, shoot out an email. He'll have the answer for you. I don't think it would be as easy as just saying absolutely not. I think we would definitely look at the possibilities there. So, yeah, never say never.
Lewis, details, please, sir.
So Chopper Larry. Oh, what? I'm sorry. What was happening?
No, Lewis said he's going to talk about selling a C5 Z06. We're actually looking for a different project car If you're serious, please give me the details.
And for Chopper Larry says that the guy must be hurting for cash. Believe it or not, Chopper, the dealership offered him, I think, 96 for that car. So
96.
it was disgusting enough that he reached out and he wanted to get at least 103. So that's what this service is all about. If when your dealership lowballs you like that, even the difference you're going to make up in tax credit, you're still not getting to that point. So if we can connect a buyer to this guy who wants to sell for 103, everybody's happy because somebody just now bought a Z06 for $103,000. You know dang well the dealership's going to buy it for 96 and going to turn around and sell it for 115. So it doesn't make any sense it doesn't make any sense to let them do that. So let's connect these buyers and sellers this way and have everybody be happy.
The last one I saw around that price was this like caffeine car with 80-some thousand miles on it.
Yeah,
like
this one, I'd have to look it up. He showed me the mileage. It's not that much. The mileage I want to say is under 20. But I don't know off the top of my head. I can't remember.
So it's still got warranty and everything.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just make sure that I'm right on this, on the mileage here. Oh yeah, 7,600. It's not even 10,000 miles.
Wow.
He's got less miles on that than I do on mine. So yeah,
me too.
Yeah, it's a low mileage car, silver flare, which you can't even get anymore. It's a good buy, and that is the only thing that's pushing that price down so low is that it is a 1LZ. Now, if you're looking to buy a car for track purposes or even just lowest possible price to save your bank account, this is the car. This is it. Got 123 thumbs up. I wish we had 123,000. Looks like 160 people watching, so please smash the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, Kevin Reynolds says, I just saw your video of your Z06 coming home for the first time where you did the front license plate frame hanger delete. I just did it on mine. I like it better. More airflow, looks more aggressive. 100%. The first thing I wanted to do was remove that thing because it literally hides like the real look of the car. I think Brandon, David, you guys have both removed that on yours too as well, right? The front license plate thing.
Yeah, I removed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because with it gone, it actually looks a lot like the C7 ZR1 behind me. It has a way more open grill area. It just looks a million times better.
Oh wait, no, I still have mine. I still got mine on there.
You were running around doing them at the Bash last year. You and was it Shane? Like you guys run around taking everybody's off.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I took off Shane's. And honestly, like I'm gonna just start doing it. I think if I see somebody at the Bash that has one, I'm just gonna take it off because like you'll thank me later. it really does.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah, it really does look better.
I'll distract him with a hug.
Yeah, there you go. I should have got you a custom shirt that says the Hugger on the back. I mean, there was worse things to be called, David. There's worse things. So you're doing all right in life if that's the best we got.
It's funny.
Yeah, Charpolaire says his never even made it out of the dealership. I would have taken it off right there too. The only reason I didn't at the time when I got mine from the dealership was because I didn't have the grill guards in there yet, and I wanted to try to protect as much as I could until I got home. Yeah, Jay has his. You will be the first customer then, Jay. I'll pop that off, and you will. I guarantee you will thank me, and it will feel like you have a brand new car again.
Yep, it will.
Yeah,
I'm actually excited that we're not really gonna be working at the Bash this year, Brandon. That we're gonna actually be able to enjoy it.
Well, I'm gonna be actually doing a couple things, but it'll be easy stuff.
Well, you were doing like the scrape armor things, weren't you?
I think Justin's gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Those are super. Those are super easy, and if Brandon or Dave, if you guys want to assist or help out at all, like they're literally going to take 25 minutes at most. But totally up to you. I can get a guy or two if you want to put some cats in for them.
No.
No, I don't want to do that again.
I have burn scars from that stuff, so I'm good.
Yeah, no, I was just joking. I wouldn't want you guys to do that again. That was a lot of work.
It was fun though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Well, if we had the gaskets, it would have been a lot quicker too.
Yeah.
Like that shit would have been real quick, actually.
It was a good time for me. I mean, I had a real good time watching you guys do it.
Hey, have you had another check engine light at all, or has it been that fixed now? With
So I yesterday I got just check engine light after check engine light, and all of them, I'm pretty sure my O2 sensors are bad. Because
you're the third person I've heard that has messaged me about the O2 sensors getting foobarred.
Yeah, I don't get it, because like they've been fine since I replaced those cats with the Gen 3s. I've got no check engine lights for over 1,000 miles. And then yesterday I drove it, and every single time I shut it off and started it back up, I was getting the same check engine light. And it wasn't even the P0420. It was, I can't remember the code, but it was saying that
it's a lane one. It says continuously lane or something like that.
It was a heater circuit, which tells me I'm pretty sure the O2 sensor is bad. Like the O2 sensors have built-in heaters to bring them up to temperature, and they're apparently not working. So I just bought 2 new O2 sensors. I'm going to see if that fixes it, because the car doesn't run any different. So it's not actually a problem. It's just, those cats are just, it's not great. And yeah, no, Chopper Larry, it's the cat itself is not causing the check engine light. So Soul Performance, the new Gen 3s have been really solid with keeping the check engine light off. I think my O2 sensors are literally bad because they're throwing codes I've never even seen before. But they're all.
I think it's from trauma from the O2 sensor removal and back I think so too. Multiple times.
I thought the exact same thing, because when I took them off, I couldn't break it free with a bar, so I used an impact for like a millisecond just to get them loose. And as soon as I did that, I looked online right after I did that, and I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. They're pretty.
You dug at them.
I did. I bet you that. But then again, they worked for 1,000 miles after that, so I didn't break it.
Well, how much did they cost?
They were like
$100 a pop.
No, they were like $52 for my local dealership each. I got them for under $100.
That's cheap.
Yeah,
that's cheap
for wide bands.
Yeah,
they
were like $200 for my Challenger.
Yeah, they were really, really good price. So yeah, make sure you go to the GM Parts website through your Chevrolet app, like the app you can use to remote start your car. If you hit shop right there, it'll take you to the GM website where you can buy the parts and pick them up at your local dealership. And my local dealership, just like I did with the bumper, their prices are always really good. So their price of that on that O2 sensor was $52, I think, and other dealerships were charging $89 or something each.
I think it's crazy how on that website you can pick different dealers, and there'll be like a $300 price variation on bumpers and stuff.
Isn't that wild? Because like my dealership that's like 2 minutes down the road for me, I don't use that dealership for anything other than the fact that I buy the parts through them because their prices are really cheap. The dealer that's next in line, which is literally like 2 extra minutes down the road, is always double their price.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Chopper Larry says the heater circuit is sensitive. Be careful it doesn't burn your driver in ECU. I don't
careful it doesn't burn you when you're back there on those cats.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't see the heater circuit causing any problems with the car itself. That's just to get the O2 sensor up to temp to read, emissions crap. But like I said, as soon as you clear the check engine light, nothing changes. The car runs the same with or without it. So I'm fairly certain it's just the O2 sensor, but I will keep everybody up to date. And yeah, 10 Seconds Z06 said that was cheap. It is. And this is one of the reasons why I continue to work and own a Corvette, because their maintenance items, their parts that go bad, whatever, it's way cheaper to buy replacement parts for a Corvette than it would be for like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini that gives you even remotely similar performance.
Yes. And honestly, when are you going to do a service on your transmission or your oil or anything on a Lambo or a Ferrari?
You're not doing any of that yourself.
Nah.
It's crazy.
You ain't doing
Try
it.
finding it.
Yeah, exactly. Try finding the part in and of itself. Yeah, you're right. Some guy named Luigi's going to have to come over and deliver it by hand from Italy in a leather case with, cheese and pizza or something. I don't know,
man, that actually sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
you actually painted a picture. I'm like, man, I kind of want to see this happen.
I will say though, like one of the docs I work with has like 6 or 7 Ferraris, and he buys like the big dollar ones. He does just like Tesla. He literally orders these like $700,000 Ferraris straight out of the Ferrari app.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely insane. I'll have to record it and send it to you, Brandon. You'll be like, what?
Yeah.
It's like almost $1 million Ferrari, and he's just like, yeah, like that color and this color and that.
Aaron AARPM says he's better late than never. What did I miss? The biggest thing you want
Everything.
yeah, everything at this point. But the biggest thing you're going to want to take away here is tonight is the last night to order any shirts that you will have at the bash. So if you want the shirt for the bash, you got to order it tonight. I have to put the order in tonight in order for Joe to have enough time to ship these out because he's shipping them tomorrow and Wednesday. So make sure you order the shirt tonight if you want it. I'd like to have all of you guys wearing the HPO Takeover shirt on Friday at the bash. Would be really cool. If I see you wearing it, of course, I'm going to give you something special. And yeah, whenever you buy the shirt, you're also going to get 10 entries to win the $1,000 gift certificate from E5 Wheels and David. Because he's given $500 of that.
Absolutely, General Lee. Vet myself like you guys. I love my vets, especially vets that own vets.
Yeah.
I love y'all, man.
The fact that it goes together so well, just it's a thing of beauty. Vets for vets.
It is, man.
And yeah, 10 seconds 06 says if you had stock cats, those sensors would have been covered under warranty. 100% they would have been. And
I was going to ask you, Justin.
Sorry, go ahead.
Have you heard? We were talking last week about the Faraday boxes or the bags for our key fobs.
Yeah, I sent a couple links out to people.
Have you heard of anybody actually cloning keys like they did with the Hellcats, where they clone the key from the OBD2 port? Have you heard that happening on our cars? I
don't think so. But there are, number one, the TRX is a big one. Hellcats in general, big ones, and also another one was the Kia. I think it's the Kia Forte is the only other car I know that doesn't lock the BCM, so they can easily program keys to it, just like the Hellcats. I actually have a video coming. I filmed it the other day, and I'm working on editing it and everything this week, talking all about security and how to keep your car yours. And some of this stuff.
Solar controller on 0.
Well, no, you can actually lock the throttle with the solar controller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did you buy the OBD2 port lock piece? Like I bought one that has a proprietary screw on it to where you can't get it off or actually support to clone a key.
Well,
I don't know if you bought that for yours or not.
I didn't do that, but I talk a lot in this video about the stuff that I have done, because the stuff that I've done to protect my vehicles, not just the TRX, but my C8 Z06 and my C7 ZR1 as well, is relatively cheap, easy to install, and it's not super inconvenient because, like I said, I'm putting in this video, it's in order for security to work to its utmost abilities, it almost always impacts convenience. If it's super secure, it's ridiculously inconvenient. So I'm trying to take the route of least inconvenient with also being the most possible security for that minor inconvenience. And in the video, I talk about some of the things I didn't do. One of them being what Brandon just said with locking the OBD2 port, but also there's actually a relay that you can plug into your starter on your car. It doesn't matter what car. You plug it in there, it works like normal. You shut off the car and it immediately disables it. And then the next time you go to start it, it won't start unless you press this special key fob button that will enable that relay again. Really,
that's what I have on mine.
I was saying, Brandon,
it's really
and a kill switch.
Yeah, that's really a cool option because almost no one is going to know that you have that. They would have to literally know that you have it and what spot in your fuse box it's in order to even pop the hood and replace it. But again, a lot of this stuff is not even built in a way to stop them from stealing it. It's built in a way to slow them down to the point where someone will catch them, be it you or some passerby, that will notice that it's happening. Because typically, a thief wants to get into your car, they want to smash the window, get in, start it, and leave. They don't want to mess around because the longer they take with it, the more likely they are to get caught. And we're slowing them down by doing the relay stuff, doing all the stuff that I'm going to talk about in my video. It's a good thing to do with your cars, even if you're not in an area like I don't live in a high crime area, but you never know. So, like I said,
and Brandon doesn't live. He lives out in the middle of nowhere. When he went to go pick up his TRX, they had 2, and one got stolen.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I have taser, lockbox, kill switch, the starter relay, fob. I have all those things.
Yeah, I have a manual, so that keeps people in it.
I actually mentioned that in my video. I said if you have a manual transmission, as weird as it sounds, that is 100% a theft deterrent nowadays. They'll smash your windows, see that stick, and they're like, "Nah, I'm out." Exactly. That is hilarious. But so Brandon's done a good bit with it. I mean, be on the lookout for that. I'll have that video out this week sometime for you guys to check out. And I'm telling you that the methods that I've used so far for protecting my vehicles, you guys would easily be able to do, and it's not super expensive to do it. So
Yeah.
be on the look for that video.
Real quick, Brandon, Mr. T asked, and I know you just did them in your other video, but we weighed our cars. Yours came in at what?
What's the question?
So Mr. T was asking, have we released the weights on our cars yet? And you just did the video where we weighed them both, but you put the weights in. I can't remember what your weight was. Mine was like 3,500.
I was 3350 or somewhere.
Yeah,
50
you were
to
like
80, somewhere in there.
150 pounds less than me right now.
Oh, it's 200 pounds. Right.
200 pounds. That's what it was. Yeah. So
I think
was
with the fuel levels
35.50.
being
You were
equal.
33.50. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think our fuel levels are a little off, and that's factoring the fuel.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just give you an idea. But yeah, Mr. T. So he was at how much fuel did you have? Like a quarter tank?
It was a little in between a quarter and a half.
And
So
you came and
three
you
eighths or
came in at
something.
like 33.50.
Chopper
Yeah.
Larry says the best security is a manual transmission and instructions written in cursive.
Heck yeah, it is.
That's funny. Riptide Rick, I heard you asking the question earlier, but I'll repeat it again just for anybody who just joined. The shirts for the bash and everything are being shipped tomorrow and Wednesday. So nobody has gotten their shirts yet. Don't feel bad. Don't feel like you've been forgotten about. They're coming out tomorrow and Wednesday. And he also asks, when is Carlisle? It's near the end of August. I believe it's the 23rd. Let me see. Corvettes at Carlisle 2025 is August 23rd through the 27th. David, Brandon, and myself again will be there. So if you guys want to come out and hang out, feel free. We will have actually our booths apparently will be right beside each other again, back of his to the back of mine. So if you want to come out and hang out, you can hang out at either one of our booths, and we're going to all be hanging out. So we'll have every year I bring a bunch of water, some pop, and then 10 seconds Z06, and Bill and other people will bring some alcohol if you want to come out and partake. We'll have coolers full of stuff for you guys. So be sure to stop by and say hi. And yeah, it's always a good time at Carlisle.
Yeah, and this year at the bash is going to be great too, guys. Please come to the bash. Bring your shirts so you can wear them on Friday. It's going to be absolutely awesome. Can't wait.
Yep. All right, so we got.
And I'm hoping Corey gets his car straightened out because he was having some issues and they had the seal leak. Because we had Corey set up to race Brandon in his Pro Charge C8 versus Brandon's car NA. So we were gonna hopefully have that. So hopefully Corey gets his car straightened out for that. So we'll have that on Saturday.
Texas Clay asked if this platform prevents him from sending email addresses. It does, and I don't know why. So if you type in an email address or any kind of web address, it automatically deletes it out unless it's coming from me. So Texas, if you want to email me, just email me, or who are you trying to get a hold of?
I think him and
Seawolf.
Seawolf are trying to connect.
Seawolf, send me an email. Texas, send me an email, and I'll put you guys together. Unfortunately it's hard for me to do it any other way because it does delete it. Unless that's part of your email, you're just putting in there Massachusetts. That's pretty cool. Is that at Gmail or something? Because if I type it in, I think it lets me type it in. Any special bash events on Saturday? Professor Corvette, we're going to have a dinner every night except for Saturday night. Saturday night is going to be something special for us, we'll say. So me, David, Brandon, Bill, and we're going to have kind of more of a meeting than a dinner, but we won't have dinner Saturday night. It will be Thursday night and Friday night. We will have a dinner though, and everybody's welcome to that. So it doesn't matter who you are or what. NBA Live says % chance we see the new interior at the bash. I don't think we're going to. And the only reason is because
I don't think so either.
I don't think GM's going to want to stunt their sales of the 2025, but I do think we're going to see some new colors. So yeah, Dan, just send me your email, and Texas, send me your email as well, and I'll put you two together. But I think that's going to do it, guys. I think we got pretty much everything we needed to accomplished. So smash the thumbs up button if you guys like the content. I will definitely see you all at the bash. I think we have one more show before the bash officially, but this is the last one to get your shirt in time. So make sure, again, you got like 20 minutes to do it. If if you wait until after this show, because I'm going to send all this info over to Joe Lamb, and then that's that. So anyway, guys, start thinking about the bash because it is coming up sooner than you think, and we'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll see you the same time, same place next Monday night.